Somewhere in Manhattan, there's a bedroom with a 24-karat gold ceiling, a living room with a marble fountain, a bathroom where even the faucets are gold. And the man who built it thought, this needs to be bigger. This is Donald Trump's world, and today, we're going inside all of it. Most billionaires collect assets. Trump collects attention. We're talking about cars, helicopters, and golf courses. A mansion so expensive, the US government gave it back. And a $137 million jet that once sat completely alone on a runway for 4 years straight, waiting for its owner to come back. Stick around, because the last item on this list, it changes how you see all the others. Let's start small. Well, Trump small. Most people have a car to get from A to B. Trump has a car collection that belongs in a museum. First stop, a 2015 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Black glass exterior, whisper quiet cabin, $500,000, just to run errands. Assuming Trump ever runs errands, which he absolutely does not. The ceiling inside this car, 1,340 tiny fiber optic lights. So you're literally driving under the stars, in a car, on 5th Avenue, at 11 p.m. for $500,000. But the Phantom was just the beginning. There's also a 1997 Lamborghini Diablo VT, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. A Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, 617 horsepower. A Mercedes Maybach S600, the same model world leaders travel in. And a 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. That Silver Cloud? His very first car. He kept it for decades, because some things aren't about money, they're about memory. That's not a garage, that's a timeline. A nice collection. If you could only afford one of these, you'd be the coolest person in every room. But for Trump, this is just how he gets around. Before the helicopter. Most people sit in traffic. Trump used to fly over it, in a gold-trimmed helicopter with his name stamped across the side. A Sikorsky S-76, configured for executive VIP travel. The same model used by royal families and heads of state, built for the kind of people who don't share flights. He bought it for $7 million, then spent $750,000 on customizations. Gold accents inside, Trump name on the outside, capital letters, naturally. Top speed, 178 miles per hour. Range, 400 miles on a single tank. Configured for executives who measure time in minutes, not miles. He used this to commute between Trump Tower and his New Jersey golf club, because the 30-minute drive, not an option. Remember The Apprentice? That opening shot, Trump stepping out of the helicopter, suit perfect, chin up, that wasn't casting. That wasn't a stunt. That was his actual Tuesday morning. He wasn't just showing off his helicopter, he was showing off his life. Insane for a helicopter, but we haven't even touched the real estate. And this is where things stop making sense. This next one is less of an apartment and more of a declaration. Floors 56, 57, and 58. Trump Tower, 5th Avenue, New York. 3 floors, in the sky, in Manhattan. That's more square footage than most entire apartment buildings in this city. The design? Louis XIV, the French king who built Versailles. 700 rooms, solid gold interiors. The man who turned an entire palace into a flex. Trump looked at that style, thought carefully, then said, actually, same. 24-karat gold crown molding on every single ceiling. Crystal chandeliers, each one the size of a small car. Italian marble pillars. Silk walls. Hand-painted ceilings. A fountain. Inside the living room. Not near the living room. Not outside the living room. Inside the living room. Because why not? And in the center of the main room, a portrait of Trump. Larger than life. Golden frame. Front and center. Because if you build a $100 million penthouse, you put your own face in it. Obviously, Trump got the idea to gold-plate everything after visiting a Saudi billionaire's home. He walked through the rooms, looked at the ceilings, looked at the walls, went home that night, and started planning how to do it better. The Saudi had gold. Trump wanted more gold. That's how the penthouse was born. Design critics called it dictator chic. Trump called it the greatest apartment ever built. That's not a home, that's a monument to one man's ego. And honestly, it works. But we're leaving the penthouse now. because the next property on this list makes even this look modest. This next property is so expensive, even the United States government gave up trying to keep it. Palm Beach, Florida, 17 acres. Atlantic Ocean on one side, a private lake on the other, 126 rooms. Gold leaf ballroom walls, a private beach, underground tunnels, manicured gardens, a spa, a tennis court, a dining room that books out weeks in advance. This is Mar-a-Lago, and Trump didn't just buy it. He inherited a story. Mar-a-Lago was originally built from Marjorie Merriweather Post, the wealthiest woman in America at the time. When she died, she donated it to the US government as an official presidential retreat. The government accepted it, then gave it back. Said it was too expensive to maintain. Trump bought it in 1985 for around $10 million. Turned it into a private members club, and never looked back. The US government said it was too expensive. Trump said, "Perfect, I'll take it." He bought it for $10 million. Today, Forbes has estimated Mar-a-Lago in the hundreds of millions. Trump himself has claimed it could be worth far more, possibly over $1 billion. Palm Beach real estate agents call the conservative estimates ludicrous. Whatever the exact number, the return is staggering. World leaders fly specifically to Palm Beach to meet him here. Netanyahu, Xi Jinping, Shinzo Abe, all sat at his dinner table, all on his turf. Not the White House, not Washington. Trump's private club, Trump's rules. Want to become a member? Initiation fee, $1 million. As of 2025, annual dues, another $20,000 on top. And there is still a waiting list. A waiting list. To pay $1 million to have dinner in the same room as Donald Trump. That's not a house. That's a power move with a pool. But Trump didn't just stop at real estate. He turned an entire sport into a personal empire. Most people play golf on weekends. Trump owns the course. 17 of them. 17 championship golf courses across the United States, Scotland, and Ireland. Not hobby courses. Championship courses. The kind that host world tournaments. In 2025 alone, this golf empire generated over $350 million in revenue. That's more revenue than many luxury hotel groups make across an entire portfolio. From golf, just from golf. Trump Turnberry in Scotland hosted 4 Open Championships. One round on the Ailsa course costs over $1,200 per person, per round, not per day. That's more than most people's monthly rent. For 18 holes, his Bedminster Club in New Jersey hosted G7 world leaders in 2018. Initiation fee, up to $350,000. Annual membership, another $20,000 on top. And people are still lining up to join. A waiting list for a $350,000 golf club. That single membership fee could buy a luxury home in most parts of America. He didn't just buy into golf, he bought the whole board. Insane! But that still wasn't his craziest flex. Because while other billionaires were buying yachts, Trump was learning a completely new game. Here's where it gets genuinely weird. Because while most 78-year-olds were slowing down, Trump launched a meme coin, January 2025. Just days before returning to the White House, the Trump coin goes live. At midnight, by morning, peak market cap hits over $14 billion. Let that sit for a second. $14 billion. From a coin with his face on it, launched at midnight, before breakfast. His net worth jumped from $3.9 billion in 2024 to $7.3 billion by 2025, nearly doubled in 12 months. A large chunk of that? Crypto. Trump publicly disclosed $57.35 million from World Liberty token sales alone. Separate reporting estimated Trump-linked crypto ventures generated far more overall. The exact number? Still being counted. But the coin was just part of it. He also made $3 million selling Bibles, $2.8 million from Trump-branded watches, $2.5 million from sneakers and colognes, $630 million a year from just his name. No company, no product he built, just his name. Stamped on things, sold to the world. At this point, he wasn't buying property, he was buying headlines. And headlines were paying him back. Unbelievable. But none of it, not the coins, not the courses, not the penthouse, prepares you for what comes last. Ladies and gentlemen, everything you just saw The cars, the helicopter, the gold penthouse, the mansion world leaders fly to visit, the billion-dollar golf empire, all of it was just the opening act. In 2011, Trump bought a Boeing 757 from Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, $100 million. Then dropped another $37 million to make it feel like Trump. Total, $137 million. For a flying palace, that's more than most private islands cost. The exterior, jet black fuselage, Rolls-Royce engines, Trump in massive gold letters. Down the entire length of the plane, visible from a quarter-mile away, because subtlety was never the goal. Let's go inside. Gold seatbelt buckles, because apparently, standard buckles were too poor. Gold door handles, gold bathroom faucets, gold shower, Italian leather seats, each one hand-embroidered with the Trump family crest. A private master bedroom, king-size bed, silk sheets, a mahogany conference table, a full home theater at 35,000 feet, range 7,600 kilometers non-stop, New York to London, in your own flying palace. Seats 43 people, over 500 miles per hour. Trump's own staff said it. Air Force One doesn't compare. Here's the dark twist. When Trump won the 2016 presidential election, he had to park it. No sitting president is allowed to fly on a personal aircraft. His $137 million jet sat on a tarmac, alone, empty, for 4 years straight, just waiting. Then in 2024, fresh gold paint job, new shine on every letter. Trump Force One was ready again, because it knew he was coming back. $137 million, sitting on a runway, alone, waiting. That's not a jet, that's a symbol. And symbols don't retire. You know what's actually interesting about all of this? Most billionaires with this kind of money hide it. Jeff Bezos sails on a super yacht registered under a shell company. Elon Musk's primary house in Texas cost $50,000. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt every day. Trump did the exact opposite. He put his name on everything. The plane, the golf courses, the hotels, the coins, the Bibles, even the ketchup. For most billionaires, money buys privacy. For Trump, money bought a stage. Love him or hate him, nobody turned wealth into spectacle quite like this. And maybe that was never about luxury. Maybe it was always about one thing, making sure no one could ever look away. So here's the question. If you could own just one thing from this list, what would it be? The jet? The mansion? The golf empire? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. If this video blew your mind, smash the like button. It tells YouTube to push this to more people. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Because next week, we're going inside the most expensive penthouse ever sold in New York City. $238 million. One apartment, one floor, and it makes Trump's penthouse look like a studio flat. See you there.